hanging from the ceiling?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Those little white caps hanging from the ceiling.
So those little white caps that you seen when we first pulled in hanging from the ceiling, they actually started mining this in the 1800s, the late 1800s. And once electricity came along, they actually wired lights into here for themselves.
Okay.
So how this whole limestone mine formed was over 200 and 250 million years ago. There was actually a warm tropical ocean here. And over time, all those seashells and the plant life that was on the bottom of the ocean actually compressed into all the limestone you see around us today. That took millions of years, and that warm ocean slowly changed and moved away from here and left all that sediment at the bottom. And over time, it compacted and compacted down into the limestone you see today. This limestone shelf particularly, it runs from upstate New York the whole way down to Kentucky, and it actually gets larger and larger the further south you get. There's actually a mega cavern down in Kentucky that has a BMX park and all of that inside it as well. But to go on to a little bit about the mine, how they mined this out was all by hand tools and donkey and cart is how they got all of this limestone out of here. I'm not sure if you guys saw when we first came in the pillars. Mm-hmm. It's called room and pillar mining. So they would obviously started at the entrance and they would clear a room and leave those pillars for their supports while they were in here. And the lights they had back then weren't like the lights we have now, of course. They had about 4 candle power when they were mining in here. So the miners would come in, they had hand drills that they would drill into the limestone. They would rig it with dynamite and they'd blow sections of this apart and they would hand load it into mine carts. The donkeys would pull it out to a steam engine and then it would go to the rail. But yeah, that's a little bit about the mine. Yeah, as you can see, it's 100% dark in here.
Oh, yeah.
As you can't see.
Yep, the only thing I keep looking at is that red light blinking, and it's keeping me talking in the right direction, but I could be talking away from you guys and you wouldn't even know. But yeah, the mining here stopped around, it was around in the early 1900s, and after the mining ceased, a mushroom farm actually bought the mine. And you'll see that whenever we go out around this turn, there's a big mushroom farm back there, and it goes back. There's about 6 to 10 rooms about the size of the room we're in now that goes back. And they actually grew snow-capped mushrooms in there.
I was going to ask what kind of mushrooms.
Yeah. So shiitake mushrooms they grew in there, and that after that was done, that is when Bob, our owner here, actually bought the mine, and that is why we're in here now. It's the only underground mine that we know of in the country that you can ride ATVs underground. Yeah, that's a little bit about the mine.
Cool.
So, does anybody have any questions so far?
I don't think so. I don't even know.
Yeah, so there was a couple years ago, not to scare anybody, but a couple years ago there actually was a bear in here, and we actually had the game warden come out and get it. Not a lot of animals that come in here though, and I'm sure you all noticed when you pulled in the mine at all times of the year, no matter if it's 90 degrees out or 20 degrees out, the mine stays at 55 degrees.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Feels good down here.
Yeah. Especially if you're out riding all day and you come in here, you don't want a sweatshirt on. It feels good. And
Yes.
you just want to sit in here for a little bit.
Right?
So, yeah, but our owner Bob started Mines and Meadows back in 2007, and this was his dream to bring people underground.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So, does anybody have any questions before we do the descent out of the mine?
I don't think so. Is there bats in here?
Yeah, there is. They usually stay away from this area, but once in a while, I'll turn on the light here for you guys real quick. So once in a while, you'll see them fly across there. And also back there that I didn't touch on, there's actually an underground lake in here.
Oh, that's so cool.
The deepest part, depending on the year, like right now, it's probably a little deeper than 3 feet in the deepest spot, but that is a 3-acre lake.
Holy
So that's all fresh water. So the limestone mines, obviously, there's cracks through the ceilings, so all the rainwater and everything will drip down right into here. And yeah, we have a pump in here that's constantly pumping water out of the mine.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, but
That's
it's
so
a 3-acre lake, and sometimes if you look around, if it's hard to see a bat when they're on the wall, it's like probably about that big.
Okay.
And it
Oh,
just
they're
looks like a little
tiny.
brown dot sitting there.
Oh,
So
shoot. I
but-
thought they'd be a lot bigger
yeah.
down here.
Yep. Yeah, and as you can see, that's some of the limestone that was left behind when the miners got out of here. And a cool thing about Wampum actually is the mining company that owned this mine, it was called Crescent Moon Company, and they actually built a whole town for their miners when they were here in the 1800s. So they had, and you usually think of miners and you don't think they have good benefits, but they built them an entire infirmary, they built them a town, everything they could ask for. So
Wow. That's impressive.
yeah, so if we don't have any other questions, I'll head us out here.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yep, no problem. And just be careful when we go around here, try to follow behind me because it gets pretty deep on the far left side.
Okay.
So just try to stay behind me just so we don't get anybody stuck in here.
Okay, cool.
Nicole, anything to add? Nope. All right, sounds good.